Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley with you. It is 6:30 here on our live weather impact show as we go ahead of another snow event. This is the second winter weather event for the Carolinas in just as many weekends. And we have a lot to talk about, of course, as we go through another weather impact alert here. It's going to be a big storm, something that's affecting the whole state of North Carolina. Again, just like last weekend, not something you see all that often. So we've got a lot to break down for you. We're getting kind of our first stab at some snow amounts, snow totals. I think there are a lot of ways that this could go, but all of us are going to get some amount of snow. It's just a question of how much. So you should plan on several inches for Saturday. And we'll go from there. Let's talk about it here on Weather Impact. We're going to have a full hour with you this evening, by the way. I want to start you out here with the winter weather alerts. And looking at the winter weather alerts across the state, you'll notice basically the whole state is covered in some kind of weather alert. And in this case, winter storm watches. That's that darker blue shade. It doesn't mean that any less severe weather is on the way, but what it means is that we're still about 36 hours away. By tomorrow, all of us will get upgraded to winter storm warnings. And that's what you should expect. So by tomorrow at this time, the whole map will basically be pink. And that's kind of what we're expecting around the area. It's going to be a big storm. Like I said, it's a wide-ranging storm. It's a big one in footprint. And the snow amounts could be pretty impressive as well. Let's take a look here at the weather threats that we're tracking. So we have a weather impact alert between now and Monday. There are two reasons for that. We're looking here at Saturday snowfall. That'll be the day that you get it. Saturday snow all the way through Sunday and Monday. Those are the time frames where you're better off at getting the cold air. So we have two weather threats we're tracking for you. It's the snow, but also it's the cold. And in this case, I do think significant snow is a good possibility. So we're looking at Saturday for that impact and that threat around our area. The main things you're going to want to watch for here is the start time and the end time. When do you want to be where you'd like to be? And then the amounts. I'm expecting the earliest that this thing could get started up, it would be tomorrow evening, Friday evening into very, very early on Saturday. I'm kind of betting somewhere around that Saturday morning time frame is when this starts to get going. Now it'll be ending about 24 hours later. So it's about a 24-hour storm Friday night through Saturday night. That's kind of the way I see it. Now, the impact, of course, is pretty obvious. Several inches of fluffy snow. We don't say fluffy snow all that often, and the reason for that has to do with our temperatures. Usually, it's a lot warmer around here. Not very warm, but with a winter weather event, typically we would have temperatures in the upper 20s to around 30. In this case, we're looking at the upper teens to around 20. And so a light, fluffier snow is looking more likely. Now, I say light, that's just in weight. It could be coming down very hard for a period of time. Now, this is still pretty early on in the process, but I am kind of emphasizing that our area has a pretty good shot at getting 3 to 6 inches. So that's kind of what we're looking at. We're looking at a 3 to 6 inch range. Still very early in the process. We could be seeing more than that in places. We could be seeing less than that in places. Some of the things at play here is that the fact that we're going to be dealing with dry air ahead of the system. One of the biggest stressors as a forecaster, as a meteorologist, I can tell you, is when you're at the beginning of a snow event and you're waiting for it to snow. And you keep waiting, and why isn't it snowing? That could be a factor on Saturday. And part of the reason for that is ahead of time, we have a lot of dry air in place, and the temperatures are very, very low. Temperatures are very, very low going into this event. So let's take a look here at the Futurecast. This is Friday afternoon, right around lunchtime. Going into Friday evening, you see that? That's around 10 o'clock. This would be about the earliest it could start. So I would say be where you'd like to be through the weekend by about 10 o'clock tomorrow. That would be a good bet. But having said that, take a look. Our model here is suggesting that it's still going to take a while to fill in the radar. So by 7 o'clock Saturday morning, you still might not have snow falling. And that's going to stress you out. It's going to stress me out, I can tell you. But I'm just saying it up front because I'm expecting that. I expect that Saturday morning will be pretty stressful if you're trying to get some snowfall. But by the afternoon, the radar should be able to fill in those gaps. It's never a certainty until it happens, but we should be able to fill in those gaps. by Saturday afternoon. And when it comes down, well, shoot, it actually could come down pretty heavily. And I'll back it up just a little bit more. You see how our model is picking up on this a little bit. You notice how there are little banding structures. So for example, right here is a heavier band. This is a heavier band. That's a heavier band. In between, you have these lighter pockets. So between those amounts, you could get a 1 or 2 inch total difference. So one town over here could have 6 or 7 inches. The town next to it could have 2 or 3 inches. And those are real possibilities that we're expecting ahead of time. So just know that that's kind of baked into the cake. High impact for snow. Doesn't take much, right? But I'm expecting about 3 to 6 inches around the area, and that's a pretty big impact overall. Ice, no, we're not going to have ice. Power outages, probably not. I say probably not because the only way you could get power outages with this event would be to have high winds. This is a problem, though. During the storm system, the wind chill's in the single digits. And then going into Sunday, the wind chill is worse than that. It should be below 0, actually. So those will be factors that we are working with. There's actually something called an extreme cold watch for our area going into Sunday. So just to kind of recap it for you, we have a lot going on, I understand. But we have a multi-day alert here. Saturday is the day that the snow's coming down. Avoid traveling if you can. And then on Sunday and Monday, we're dealing with snowy roads and very, very cold air. So that's what we're dealing with. That's the threat. That's the concern. Our weather alert goes away on Monday, but I'll tell you, that doesn't mean the snow will. We could still be dealing with some icy roads and icy issues going into next week. So we'll be tracking it for you. I think that snow is a bit of a problem for our area, of course. And we'll be with you every step of the way. Hey, we've got an extra long show here today. We'll be back after a 2-minute break.